Hello and welcome back to Stick to Fitness. I'm Hymsuen and I'm joined today by my co-host Archie. And today's topic, we're going to be diving deep into things you absolutely need to know before starting your fat loss journey. Advice that doesn't include wrapping yourself in cling film or the Ozempic injection. We're steering clear of those Hollywood quick fixes, although I must say Archie's been eyeballing that Ozempic pretty hard lately. I caught him trying to inject a grapefruit the other day. Something to do with the new fad juicing. So with that out of the way, what would you like to know before starting your journey many years ago? And most importantly, who are we talking about? Are we talking about fat loss competitors or fat loss competitors? Fat loss for competitors or Gen Pop? Or does it make a difference? What do you think?
I think to cover both aspects of it and the thing that I would want to know hands down is how long it's going to take. But then it's also going to take longer than you think. So that would be the key thing to kind of understand before you start anything, is it's going to always take longer than you think it's going to take.
Did you, so here's a question. Did you ever think, like when you first started training, right, the goal was to get jacked, right?
Mm.
Did you ever for a moment think, how long is this going to take me? Did it ever cross your mind?
Yes and no, because if you have a time frame, so if the time frame was like, I want to be okay with how I'm looking by the time I go on holiday, is it going to be possible? And then at the time, there was a lot of things. Obviously, we're talking 10 years ago. A lot of the thing was a 12-week. Everything was 12 weeks.
Yeah.
12-week shredded, 12-week jacked, 12-week abs.
12-week baby.
Yeah, everything was just 12 weeks. So trying to go to that time frame, then actually getting there and realizing, it's actually not as good as I thought it was going to be. It's going to take a lot longer than kind of 12 weeks. I don't know why 12 weeks was such a thing back then.
Yeah.
But like, even to compete, it was like, I only need 12 weeks. But I don't know. I think it's changed now. Everyone's a bit more accepting of the fact that it takes a lot longer.
Yeah.
And then when you do get to that point of where you feel like you are happy, it's not actually that great.
Because I look back at when I first started and I never dieted for a holiday or anything like that, right? It was more just like I wanted to get jacked, right? So it wasn't like, I need to get jacked for next summer or I need to get jacked for, I don't know, a competition. It was just like, I just want to get jacked because I was super skinny. But never for a second did I think, how long is this going to take me? That question never, ever entered my mind.
Do you think about it now?
I think because I'm there. I've made it. Mama made it. But I feel like, if you said to me, like, you're not going to get any bigger, this is how you're going to look for the rest of your life, I think I'd be pretty content, if I'm honest. Would I like to be bigger? Absolutely.
Can always be.
But I don't think I would be upset if somebody took away my gains,
Or just put your gains on hold.
Yeah. But at the start, I never once thought, I need to get there in a certain amount of time or, how long would it take me? And I think nowadays, that's like the first question of whether or not someone's going to even think about doing something. They go, how long is it going to take me to get like shredded or how long is it going to take me to get jacked? And then they decide whether or not they want to do it. Whereas I feel like it should be the other way around. You should be like, I want to do this and, it's going to take how long.
It doesn't matter how long it takes.
But it's so different now.
Everything now is just instant.
Yeah.
It's accessible.
It's Amazon Prime.
Yeah, literally.
Next
same
day
day
delivery.
Well,
I
same
get angry, Amazon.
Yeah.
When sometimes they say, I ordered something, right? And the laptop stand. And it said to me it's going to come on the 17th of October. And in my head, I was like, what? I'm already looking for the next one.
I need to find the next one.
Yeah, well, it should be coming tomorrow. Why am I waiting?
Yeah, I think people are a lot more impatient now.
Do you think Amazon's done this to us? Have they fucked it up?
I think it's everything. It's from Netflix to Deliveroo to everything is just so accessible.
Yeah.
So if you said to someone, right, it's going to take, this is how long it's going to take.
Yeah.
It's going to be this long and they're not happy with that. If you're an online coach, for example, that's why I think that 12-week kind of thing sells is because if it goes to two online coaches, one's telling you they can do it in 12 weeks and one's a bit more realistic and says it's probably going to take 6 months up to a year, you're going to go like 12 weeks, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a time limit on it.
Got loads of time, but I think one of the other things that I'd definitely like to know is that you don't have to actually stop socializing and you haven't got to just be in a hole the whole time.
Yeah.
I think that's more. I think that's definitely for both kind of competitors and to kind of jump up. You don't actually have to live in this rut where you're just by yourself. And
did you do that?
I've done that before. Definitely. I think the first time you always kind of do it, you're always a bit more skeptical about whether I should be doing this or should I be doing that. But when you become to have a better understanding about how to actually lose fat, it's, yes, you can still go out and socialize and, you know, account for some calories here and some calories there and still be present in the moment. And you haven't got to do what I used to do and run off to my car and eat my rice cakes and dried chicken and then come back and sit at the table.
Do you think that helped you though at the same time?
I think it did help me in a sense of it just meant that I've done everything that I possibly could. And then even though I might not have got the result that I wanted, I didn't look back at it and think if I didn't do that, then the result would have been different. So I think from a peace of mind point of view, it helps. But if you're doing it just because you want to improve your quality of life, I think staying as sociable and as active as possible is going to be more beneficial in the long run and help you kind of stay in that mindset for a longer period of time.
Yeah. I always felt like, I live my life like that as well. Like I think as everybody does, right? You go from one extreme to the other. So you go from, okay, I wasn't eating chicken and whatever to that is the only thing I'm going to be eating, right? And I went through that in the beginning for, quite some time before eventually learn that flexibility. But I feel like a lot of people skipping that first page now. That they almost go down the route of it's way too flexible.
Yeah.
And then
no structure.
There's no structure. So you're just like, yeah, I can eat some chocolate and I can still lose weight. But then just because you can doesn't mean that you should.
Yeah.
But people do that like so often. And oftentimes that those poor food choices then lead to, all out, overeating, because that's always going to come with some sort of downfall, right? So yes, you can eat whatever you want and you can choose a pizza over, some chicken and rice, but you're not going to be as full. You're going to end up being a bit more hungry and you might accept hunger today. You might accept hunger tomorrow, but it's going to come to a stage in your fat loss journey where I don't want to feel hungry, at night. And then that's when that pizza or that bad food choice means that you end up overeating, the following days.
Yeah, I would definitely say the people that I've seen get the best results, both like working with people, I don't know, it might be the same for you, is the people that are the more strict about what they eat. So they're not looking for
Eddie abuse.
Yeah, they're not looking for that flexibility as much as someone else. And like I said, I just think it makes it, to get those results that you actually want, if you are more accepted to the fact of it's like this, I'm gonna have to sacrifice a couple of things that I enjoy doing. Even just down to little things like if you're drinking 4 cups of tea and not putting sugar in it. Like just those little things in the long run will have a massive impact.
Yeah. It's hard though, isn't it? It's that change of behavior because you've lived your whole life going, I'm always going to have 2 sugars in my tea, or I'm always used to having, a latte rather, and you have to almost change your taste buds a little bit more because you're never going to get to, let's say, 60, 70 kilos if you continue to live 100, 110 kilo person's life, right?
Yeah.
And although, yes, you may have some life non-negotiables where you might say, do you know what, I can't drink tea unless I have a sugar in it. And you might always have that. But then there's something else in your day that you may need to pull back on a bit to allow for that to occur. And I think, a lot of people, like you said, they aren't willing to give up certain things, or they feel like I want to lose this fat, but also I don't want to change anything.
Yeah, I don't want to change anything.
Yeah.
But I think that's where, again, to go back to the original question about what you should have, that goal should be really clear of what you want to achieve and should always be referred back to. So when that devil's on your shoulder and you want to make that impromptu decision to binge or to not follow what you've been told to do or overeat, always refer back to that original goal and then have that really clear as this is what I'm trying to do. And if I make this decision, then it's not helping that. So deciding to skip a workout or doing, like I said, overeat, that's not going to help get to that goal. So just having that being really clear, before you start any sort of fat loss journey is, the way, one thing that I try to talk to a lot of my clients about is that emotional feeling. Because I would say there's nothing worse than looking in the mirror and being unhappy.
So you need to know, I guess the thing is that you need to know your true why, or the real reason behind what you're trying to achieve. And that's going to allow you to then kind of continue to do it, right? Because if you don't have a strong reason to why you want to lose weight or you want to lose fat in the first place, you're never going to do it, right?
Yeah, it's tough.
When things do get tough, you're just going to be like, nah.
But it's also having that emotional, that response, isn't it? So if you have something that makes you feel a certain type, whether you're doing that for, health reasons, or you're doing it for, to be around with your kids longer, or to be able to perform your job properly, that referring back to that, it does kind of have that, when you have that raw emotion of like, I have to do this, there's no option. It does make it a lot easier. Like, I'll give you an example. There was a guy that I was working with, and him and his partner were trying for to have a baby. I can't remember the name of it now. What's it called when you have like a surrogate?
IVF.
IVF, that's it. Yeah. So they were trying to have IVF.
And you said you couldn't remember the name of his baby. I was like, I don't know.
So they were trying to have IVF.
Yeah.
Right? And obviously to get IVF, you have to be a certain
body weight
and stuff. So his missus had lost like the weight, and he hadn't. Like they would.
The guy has to lose weight as well.
Yeah, but something along the lines of with that, or I don't know whether it's to support her with the weight loss as well.
I think it's that. Yeah, I don't think it matters.
Yeah, they are both overweight. And he was trying to support it with her, and obviously every time he would like binge or do whatever, obviously it would annoy her, and it would lead to kind of her having. So I had to be really honest with him and have that conversation. Where it's like, you're literally doing this so you can have a child.
Yeah,
like your missus is there struggling.
Yeah,
and you're not supporting her like alongside it, and that was a real like. It was a hard conversation to have, but benefit that obviously they had from that was...
So then he just went outside and ate instead.
He just didn't tell her. No, but so that was...
She's like...
Having that raw emotion to always fall back to is definitely beneficial.
For sure. It's a support system, innit?
Yeah, of course.
That's hard work, man. That's for sure. Did not for the Ozempic.
No, I don't think that. I mean, that was a couple of years ago. I don't know if it's still. I don't even know if that was around then.
I think it was. Ozempic's been around for time, man.
I might just give it a go.
Hold up. Oi, I tell you what though. Side quest. One of my friends is doing an Ozempic challenge.
Challenge.
Yeah, so he's taking it for 30 days to see what's the crack.
Do you know what I'll do?
Shout out Mackenzie.
Yeah. Do you know what I'll do? I'll take it and gain weight.
You.
That's the challenge.
Yeah, that would be a challenge.
Yeah, because then it just shows that like
it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Well, it does work. It's just like you still need to eat less.
Yeah, but of course. But anyway, enough about that because that's just We've already done a podcast on that.
This is a big one. So I think what I would like to know, what people should know, or I think I would have liked to know before when you first start trying to lose fat is what works is still a calorie deficit.
Yeah,
I think that's 100%. A huge one. I was taught otherwise.
What were you taught?
I was taught that you could eat as many calories as you like, similar to like what.
Well, like you were
Mama
on
Greenwood said.
Yeah. You were on the Weight Watchers sins.
Nah, not the sins. It was more like if you, as long as it's healthy, you can eat however much. Like nuts, bro, go for it, man.
Yeah,
you can eat. I was banging them out.
Yeah, bananas.
Yeah, peanut butter. There's all avocados. They're good fats.
Yeah, it's organic. Got the organic one.
That's it. And that was me. So when I was writing out meal plans for people, it was always like tons of fats. It was low carb.
Yeah,
but loads of fats. And
they're healthy.
Yeah, and people still lose weight, right? Because you're still getting a reduction in calories because
compared to what you're used to eating.
Yeah, because like how much really for some people anyway. So how much really are you going to eat of that, right? Some people might smash, and some people really like nuts. They're the ones that didn't lose weight. But people who don't really eat that way, they lose a little bit of weight. But it comes to a point where they've lost enough, and they're going to stall at that calorie amount. And then you need to make that change in terms of the drop in calories. But what happens is there was clients where, obviously you're not looking at the calorie side of it, right? You're just going, okay, you can just eat more nuts, oh, I'm hungry, eat more nuts.
I need a snack.
Yeah, and then you're like, why the hell are they gaining weight?
Yeah. A handful of nuts. Yeah. I got 2 hands, big hands.
Yeah, it's like American footballer. But yeah, so that's a big one. So I would have definitely have like obviously now people like they know about the calorie deficit, right? But I feel like a lot of people know. They feel they know what a calorie deficit is. They're like, oh, you know about calorie? Yeah, I know about that. But they don't truly understand what it is.
That's why I can't get my head around the Weight Watchers. I can't get my head around it. The whole sin thing. You can have unlimited pasta and potatoes. There's no sin.
They obviously don't believe in.
But I just don't understand how. I don't understand how people can buy into it.
I don't know.
I don't get the whole
Calorie
Weight Watchers
deficit
thing.
It just makes sense, right?
Yeah,
it's
of course.
Like if you want to lose weight, even my friends, like who don't, they don't know anything about nutrition or
yeah.
They know that if you need to lose weight, you need to eat a bit less than
What you're eating.
Yeah. But for some reason, fitness is the only place where people are like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
You need to eat more to lose weight. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if someone said to you, oh, I'm really looking at saving money. Maybe budgeting is not a good idea. Maybe you need to spend more money.
More money, yeah.
And then you can say, that doesn't even make sense.
No. Yes, it's true. I don't understand that either.
But there's so many things, right? I think a lot of people, the umbrella term is calories, right? But there's so many other things that can affect your body weight. Things like stress, dehydration, metabolism, your PCOS, menopause, poor sleep. But all of those things have a knock-on effect to your calories. So people will say, oh, you need to get sleep, otherwise you're not going to lose fat. Just by not sleeping enough doesn't mean that you're not going to lose fat. You're still going to lose fat. It's just that when you don't sleep, you are more tired. Maybe you don't move around as much. Maybe you end up eating more food because you naturally get more hungry when you don't sleep enough. You don't have as much resistance to stopping yourself from going out and buying, pizza or whatever, right? Or you're just lazy and you're tired because you haven't had enough sleep. So then you're like, oh, I can't be asked to cook. I'm just gonna order a takeaway, and that's where it still comes down to how many calories you're taking in. But yes, sleep has affected that how many calories is coming in, but it's still calories.
Yeah,
it's not sleep.
No,
because there's tons of people who probably don't sleep much.
It's like stress as well, isn't it? It's like if you're stressed, you're still gonna lose weight.
Yeah.
If your response to stress is I need to eat a whole bag of biscuits or whatever, then it comes down to calories.
It's your response to those things. There's definitely things that affect your calories.
I guess that's a good one then to know beforehand is that like this is things that is I think in the fat loss phase, those things are going to happen. It's going to come at some point, and how you respond to them is going to again determine your outcome, isn't it?
Yeah. And that's where I guess when people don't truly understand the calorie deficit, that's where all the fad diets come in. That's where all the Weight Watchers comes in. That's where all the Herbalife comes in. But really, carnivore diet, whatever you want to call it, they all work under that same thing, which is reducing your intake. You're just doing it in a different way, right? How does a carnivore diet work? You only eat meat. Well, guess what else you don't eat?
Yeah.
Junk.
Yeah.
All the
milkshakes.
So yeah, do you know what I mean? You're just eating meat. How much? You can still gain weight eating meat.
Of course.
I
reckon I could.
You can gain weight just looking at meat. But yeah, it's wild, man. Like people, they say they understand calorie deficit, but when you talk to them, they don't really understand.
Yeah, but I think that's where, again, before you start, is understanding your I think portion control and sizing.
That's hard, isn't it?
It is hard, but if you get your head around that, I think it makes the whole fat loss a lot easier.
We were talking about the calorie restricting in terms of the restaurants, right?
Yeah.
I don't think they help because their meals are so big. So then people,
I don't think they are so. They're tiny, but they're just covered in calories, oil, fat. Like this is just so. They just add extra.
Mate, Toby's
butter.
is unnecessarily large. Toby's Carvery.
Oh, Toby Carvery's tiny, man.
What?
You get like 4 slices of meat on a large plate.
Yeah, but you could eat loads of veg and all that stuff that comes with it, right?
Yeah, but of course.
That's massive. Or you go to like...
But that's a buffet. You're talking about a buffet. You can go up as many times. You could go there and just get like one little thing of everything. You're in control of that. That's not given to you.
But it's still, I guess it's still portion control or portion sizes based upon what you actually are eating. Because it's not going to be equated, right? So you could have, at home, if you cook chicken with rice and some vegetables, you could eat a massive plate of that. But if you go out to eat and you're eating at Harvester to eat that, you're probably looking at, way double the calories or maybe...
Yeah, way more.
Yeah, so even though it's the same food, the portion is going to be
It's like when
different.
people go to a Turkish and get chicken and rice, get chicken shish, but you eat the whole basket of bread that comes before.
I mean, you can get chicken and rice in KFC now, can't you?
Yeah, rice box, yeah.
But how many calories is that? That's
It's like upwards of 800.
That's what I mean. That chicken and rice shouldn't be 800 calories unless you're
no way.
eating like.
What's that when we go roosters?
After this,
when we
every
go,
time.
when we go roosters after this and eat about 2,000 calories, I'm still hungry afterwards.
That's mad. I'm struggling.
Yeah,
I'm there going like,
I don't know what's wrong with you.
And you've already finished it.
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with you.
I have a normal person's appetite.
That's all right now. I'm dieting now for my 30th.
Are you?
Yeah.
Look at you eating and drinking all this.
Yeah, well, this is just, we'll count this as like what, 30 carb?
Okay.
I've had nothing to eat today yet.
Nothing to eat.
Protein shake.
All right. It's an easy diet.
Of course. Just don't put as much in your mouth, innit?
That's it. When are you 30?
January 18th.
January. Oh, so you got.
So I've got about
short prep.
17 weeks, 16 weeks.
Short prep. Okay, not bad.
30th. Get
You
shredded for my
dropped
30th.
80 pounds.
Yeah, literally.
There you go. But yeah, I think when we talk about calories as well, having the money saving mindset is a good one as well. So we're talking about money and that comparison. Think about when you're trying to save money, like what do? You think about what you're going to purchase, right?
Yeah.
You go, do I really need that? Or is there something else that I could buy that's going to be a little bit cheaper and is a good alternative? And you think about what you're about to spend your money on because it's more valuable to you, right? And this is the same when it comes to calories. It's like, do I really want to spend my calories on this? Is there something which is a lower calorie alternative?
A better investment.
Yeah. So having that, mindset of, when you're trying to save money, it's a money saving mindset. It's having a calorie saving mindset when it comes to losing weight, I think is it's going to go a very, very long way in terms of knowing. What else would you have in terms of things that you would like to know?
I think on the final point, it would be about training.
Okay.
And knowing that I think even in a fat loss phase, training and being active is still going to be a massive part of it. Yes, you can continue what you're doing and maybe cut a few things out, but at some point you're going to have to start moving more and doing something.
Yeah. And
having some sort of intensity when you do train.
What do you do if people generally don't like training? There's so many people that just don't like training. They don't enjoy it. And they only see it as a means to end. Like, I needed to do it to lose fat. What do you say how do you help people like that?
I guess you hear what they have to say and then just try and come up with an alternative, isn't it? Like, I think walking in steps for people is a great way just to be more active without feeling like you're actually doing a lot.
Yeah.
So but again, that requires people to put aside a certain amount of time a day and like just being able to move. But there are obviously ways around that. If you can, like, you can buy one of those floor treadmills for like 90 quid on Amazon again. And just having that like in your living room or whatever, it doesn't take up too much space. So just something like that where it's very low impact. We're trying to find like
something that you do enjoy, right?
Something that you do. I think a lot of people, whether that be anything, whether that be like going to play a game of badminton or like just anything.
Paddle.
Paddle. Yeah, anything where you're going to be like moving is always going to be beneficial. I think it still would be difficult if you're just someone who doesn't do a lot. Restricting what you're eating is only going to take you so far.
Yeah, I think it also depends on how you want to look as well. If you genuinely want to look like one of these guys over here, the Greek statues, you're going to need to train. There is no way that you're going to be able to put on muscle unless you are genetically blessed. But we probably wouldn't be listening to this podcast if you are genetically blessed. You probably wouldn't have these issues if you were genetically blessed, right? So I think we can cut that out of the equation. But yeah, you won't be able to build muscle unless you do some form of resistance training. So I guess it's figuring out what part of that training do you not enjoy, and then like combating that, right? So
like figuring out what's the main thing that people don't enjoy about training.
I think people think it's boring, it's monotonous, but really it is monotonous. It is boring because like think about, you need to train your chest. What movements are you going to do to train your chest? It's going to be something that's going to be some sort of pressing motion, whether or not you're sitting in a machine or a different thing.
Fat loss is even more boring.
Yeah. But what people don't find boring is results.
Yes,
people are losing weight. So they like that. They continue. Just like when you're training, if you're gaining strength, if you see your numbers progress, that's what's going to make you enjoy it, right? Or if you have someone that you're training with, you enjoy the company of that individual, that's going to add to your enjoyment, right? But I think if you're just trying to enjoy it for, that thing itself, I think it's quite difficult.
Or for just fat loss?
Just in general, I think if you think about your training, right, you don't just enjoy, you don't go, I really enjoy this pressing movement. That's why I always do it. You go, I enjoy how it makes me feel from doing it, right? Or I enjoy that my numbers are going up. I enjoy that it shows me that when I do this, my chest goes like this, right? You enjoy that feeling. You don't go, I just like this movement. Because if you just like this movement, you'd be just doing this all the time, right? So you got to think about, why you enjoy things, right? And a lot of it is down to the results and the outcome out of it. That's what I think anyway.
I think that's a hard sell now, though. I don't know what I enjoy about training anymore.
No, you don't.
I don't know what.
But
it's just become a part of the day.
But in the beginning, it was the results, right?
Yeah, it's always. Yeah.
And now it's obviously become just more of a habit. So even for myself now, it's more like the benefits that I get from it is obviously, the mental side where it's a time to yourself. You're relaxing, right? Maybe there's certain people that you see in the gym, you don't know their fucking name, but you see them every single day.
Yeah.
And you just, it's like
the same time.
So it's like just like a routine kind of thing. And it becomes a habit, right? Like a learned behavior over time. And you don't know why you keep doing it, but you just keep going back to do it. And that in order to get there, it does start with the results. That's what I feel anyway.
You know what you're capable of, isn't it? You
You
can always go back to it.
That's it. And obviously it gives you something, right? There's some sort of return there, whether you know it or not.
I know. It's just whether sometimes you just have that conversation where it was like, would I have been better off having never started? Because then you'll never that feeling where it's kind of like, because it is hard when you've been doing something for so long, and it's just like,
I've got to keep doing it. I'm too far into the game.
I'm too far gone. I can't stop now. And then it becomes like your
identity. Almost.
Yeah, that's who you are. Yeah. You're the.
I can't stop now. Like it's my job.
Yeah.
I'm stuck. Yeah. It's too late to pull out now. I can't just
career.
Yeah, it's like, I don't want to train anymore. Shit. I'm going to be an IT technician.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll just do some editing or whatever. No, but that's what I mean. Sometimes it's just like a bit. It's who you are now, isn't it? It's like you train.
You think people are stuck? We're just doing it because they're stuck.
I feel like there's a lot, but you see some people, they take a lot of time out from it and then do so I don't know.
Yeah.
But then I don't like taking time out of it. So it's like a catch-22, isn't it?
Same. Even if I wanted to change, I'd still continue to do it just in case I decide I'm not going to change. Because then I've lost that chance to progress, right? So I need to keep doing it, but I need to do something new alongside it. Otherwise, just in the off chance that...
That was like, even when obviously had the baby like last week. Yeah. So he was in hospital Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah.
And girlfriend's going to me like, you can go train if you want. Like, we're just sat in the hospital.
That's a test.
Yeah, no.
That's a test.
No. I was like,
did you pass?
I was like, nah. I said, nah, it's all right. It's all right. It's fine. Like, whatever, we're here.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. He got to come home Thursday. I was like, right, babe, I'm just going to go train legs.
Yeah.
So I'll be back in 2 hours.
What did she say?
Nah, she's cool, man. I think that's where you got to have someone who understands like kind of what it is, because that's, like you said, this kind of your time, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then I've been training throughout, to be honest with you. So she's pretty flexible with it. So that's good. Shout out her, man. Please stay being flexible.
She's had her first training session.
Yeah, exactly.
Did she train?
No.
She didn't train, right?
No.
Yeah. There you go. And then what about some myths? What would you do with, because a lot of people think that they could have some spot reduction, right? That's a huge one.
Yeah, everyone says that, isn't it? It's like, I just want to lose.
I just want to lose here. I don't mind my arms.
I just want to tone.
Yeah.
What does tone mean? I don't know what tone is.
Tone, I guess, is building muscle.
Yeah, but if you say to someone, so you want to build muscle? No, I want to tone.
Mm.
What do you mean? You just want some definition then?
Yeah.
No, I don't want to be muscly. Yeah. I don't know what tone is.
I think
if anyone knows what tone is, let us know. I don't know.
It's definitely building muscle, but just a lower level amount of muscle, right? So it's a
prettier look.
It's a body recomposition. It's classic.
Oh, okay.
It's classic. It's classic Gen Pop.
Or when people are like, I've only got fat on my stomach.
So I only want to lose it there.
Yeah, no, I've only got fat on my stomach. And then like you look at them and it's like, yeah, you do have fat in your stomach. But also your arms are fat, your back's fat, your ass is fat.
You just got more fat in your stomach.
You just got more fat on your stomach.
Yeah.
But it's only on my midsection. Yeah. You're fat.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you can't spot reduce.
No.
So you have to just lose everything at the same time, or your body will choose where it decides to lose, right? And it's a little bit like water bottles, right? If you fill up if some water bottles are a little bit more empty than others and they all deplete at the same time, one is going to empty out faster than the other, right? And for certain people, if they're holding more body fat in their stomach, that means that water bottle in the stomach is just a lot higher. So if everything's depleting at the same time, your limbs are going to, lose more fat.
I think that's what, for myself personally, it's always, in 12 to 16 weeks, I can get my top half like beach ready.
Yeah.
But my legs look like I should be playing rugby.
It's like, what was it?
Takes so long.
You're like a peak week for upper body.
Yeah.
Legs is 20 weeks out.
I think I sent you a picture when we was doing it before, and it was like, you would, if you had like if you cut my torso in half and split
Different
it,
people.
you wouldn't pair the legs with the top half.
Yeah.
Because the legs look like they've not even done anything.
I think I hold more body fat in my legs as well, but it's definitely changed over time. I'm definitely holding a leaner.
You've got more muscle on them now.
Maybe. There's more separation for sure.
Yeah.
I used to be just a blob.
No, I am a blob.
Yeah.
A lot of dad bod. Dad bod now.
That's it. How about the comments? So this is a big one as well. So this is outside of all the science and all. But like, you've had people where they're like, oh, you look better when you're fatter. Or
I get that all the time.
Yeah. So I think comments is something that people need to prepare for. I think a lot of people think, oh yeah, I'm going to look great. But they forget about how other people's comments and their opinions on them make a difference, right?
Of course, it affects your kind of like, the worst comment is when you're dieting and someone says, you're looking skinny.
For us, yeah.
Yeah. And you're like, I will literally take my shirt off now, eat some Haribo and get a pump. And you won't say that. That's the worst though. But it is though, when you're going from if you're going from a larger weight.
Because I think a lot of it plays into the insecurities of yourself already.
Of course.
You're probably already thinking, oh, I'm a bit on the skinnier side.
My clothes are feeling a bit baggier.
You already fucking know that. But then someone goes,
need to be told it.
Yeah, somebody's like, yeah, you're looking small, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
but then, it's always like, my response in that case is always, still look better than you.
Yeah.
Because 9 times out of 10, you do.
Yeah.
And that's just coming from whether they mean it or not in when they're saying it, is just, you just have to take everything with a pinch of salt.
Yeah. I think the important one is to realize that, again, this comes back to why you start, right? You're doing it. Are you doing it for the opinions of others or are you doing it for the opinions of yourself, right? Because if you're doing it for the opinions of others, then it's going to really affect you. And you'll see people who, they want to drop 10 kilos, they drop 5. And then somebody says, oh, you dropped a lot of weight. You look better when you were fat. And they're like, oh, I don't want to drop this 10 kilos now. It's like, well, if you change your mind that quickly, are you dieting for them?
Yeah, exactly.
Or are you dieting for you? And I think a lot of times you have to consider, okay, you're dieting for yourself. So if your goal was you wanted to lose 10 kilos, commit to that.
But it's also a thing of like you said, listening to what other people have to say, taking it with a pinch of salt, but then being like, yeah, no shit. I've lost 10 kilos.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think was going to happen? Like, do you know what I mean? Yeah, I am going to be like, my shirt size might come down by 1. My waist is going to be smaller.
Yeah. The best one is, you go to before and after, and then someone's like, he looks older in his after, right? He looks like he's aged. It's like, well, he has aged. He's 12 weeks older.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's just like, it's just like common sense, guys. Like, You know, if I'm going from 125 kilos and I went down to 90 kilos, no shit.
I'm gonna lose a bit of size.
Of course, I'm gonna be going from wearing double XL clothing to a large clothing. Like,
but
it's common sense.
You feel better for it, right?
Of course, but it's like, I'm dieting. What do you think happens?
Yeah, but it's mad though. Like, no one people just comment and they're just happy to give their own opinions on things, and it's like people forget how it may affect somebody else.
Everyone's got an opinion in the gym. Everyone thinks they know what they're doing. Everyone thinks they got that, even exercise wise, diet wise. Yeah, don't eat this, don't do that. Train like this, do this exercise. You're doing it wrong. But it's just one of them. It's like everyone's got an opinion on football. Everyone thinks they can sing, and everyone in the gym thinks that they're a fitness professional. So
that's it. Yeah.
Just have to know who to listen to, and just be polite, nod your head, smile, say thanks. I'll bear that in mind, and then just crack on with what you're doing. Trust in your process, isn't it?
That's it. It's a very difficult one, but it's just being prepared for it, right? I guess. Know that it is probably going to come at some point. You know, I don't think anybody loses weight or loses some fat and doesn't get those comments. I still get it today from my mom. You know what I mean?
But sometimes though, you get those comments out of spite.
You think?
Jealousy,
jealousy, yeah.
Because it's like my favourite response is like, I've seen you in this. I've seen you. I had to say it to one guy first, and it didn't go down too well with him. I think I was dieting or something, and
must have been.
Yeah, I bit hard. I did bite hard. I said, I've been coming to this gym for 5 years. I've seen you here for 5 years. You look no different. You're just wasting your time. What are you doing? You've not gained any strength. You've not gained any size. You've not lost any weight. You've been coming here every day for 5 years.
What did they say?
They weren't best pleased.
No.
But he was a friend of mine though, so so it was all right. But yeah. Shout out Golsar. You got to be upset by it.
That's what makes friendships, man.
Of course, it's just a bit of banter, isn't it?
Brutally honest. Well, what do you expect, right? Someone's just been brutally honest to you.
Exactly. But there are though. You think about how many people give advice and give opinion, this, that, the other. I think about how many people you see day in, day out at the gym doing the same thing, look no different. They must be getting some enjoyment out of it. Don't get me wrong. But it's almost just a case of like, for me, I couldn't do that because it's not seeing the progression.
Yeah.
But that must be tough, man. So then when people do start dishing out advice and stuff like that, it's just like, oh, come on, mate. Like, literally, I don't even know what you're doing with yourself, let alone you want to come and tell me what to do.
That's why you have to listen to the big guy.
Always listen to the big guy.
All right. So we hope you found our discussion interesting. If you enjoyed this episode, feel free to leave a review on iTunes and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. And if you want to share your first time with us, hey, you can find me on Instagram at Gym With Him, and Archie is at Archie13 with 2 E's. Thank you all for listening, and we will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.
What we got?
We got Kickapoo.
What's Kickapoo?
Kickapoo is joy juice. All right. So this is I think this is Malaysian. Hold tight, the Malaysian family.
What, lemonade?
But I can't tell you that. You got to try it first.
Come on and crack it open.
It's you tell me what you think it tastes like. This is for the ASMR.
It's green.
Tell me what is it?
Dragon juice. What joy? No, joy juice.
It's joy juice, but Kickapoo joy juice. What do you think it tastes like?
It tastes like Mountain Dew.
Ah, alright.
Yeah.
You don't like Mountain Dew?
It's all right.
Well, this guy's just hating on this Chinese culture right now, right?
No, it's all right. It's not sweet enough.
Not sweet enough?
That's not sweet enough for me.
It's good, man.